Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm author Benoit Chartier and I'll be reading you excerpts from my short stories from various sources. Today I'll be reading from 30 at 30. It's a new anthology that came out a few weeks ago from the Ottawa Independent Writers. I have a few stories in there, and today I will be reading extras. I'd be far away by the time they realized I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't running away. I'm an adult, and I can do what I want. That's how my parents raised me, to try for the things I can do, no matter how hard it was. This was the hardest thing I'd ever tried, but like I say, I had to do it. I got the official email that Monday morning. Mom opened it for me after we got our weekly food allotment. It bugged me when she did that, but I guess she did it because she loved me. There was the Interplanetary Exploration official seal on it, slowly turning at the top of the page, so I knew it was legit. Dad kept staring at the thing like it was going to change into something else. I was excited. Looking at Dad and his big round eyes made me laugh out loud, and I covered my mouth. "Mark, this isn't funny," he said. I stopped laughing. "Honey, we have to do something about this," Mom said, like some terrible thing had just crawled out of the flower bed, and we should call pest control before it spread. I was happy, though. The letter said I'd been picked. I would be getting onto one of those big transport ships heading out to the new exploration sites of Gliese 581G in the constellation Libra or Kepler 442b in Lyra. Me, Mark Spencer, astronaut. I felt my cheeks flush red at the thought of it. This was one of those boyhood dreams that everyone wanted to come true, and it had, for me. "Mark, you're not thinking of going, are you?" Dad said, and I felt a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. "Oh, Mark, I know we said you should always try your best, but this is just impossible. I don't think you're eligible," Mom said. That was code for, "You can't do it because of your Down syndrome." "I can too go. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me," I cried. "What about us?" Mom said. "We'll miss you so much. How will we survive without you?" Dad was watching us, arms crossed, and Mom had that sad look on her face that always made me feel bad. I looked at the slowly turning symbol of the Interplanetary Exploration Department one last time and went to my room without looking at Mom or Dad. I closed my door and lay on my bed. This wasn't fair. I was 26 years old. I should be allowed to make my own decisions. I had finished high school. I could make my own meals. Why couldn't I join the next expedition? I leaned over the side of my bed and pulled out my secret tablet from between the mattresses. It was Donnie, my older brother, who'd given me the idea, except his secret tablet had naked lady pictures on it mostly. Mine was a collection, sure, but they were much nicer pictures. I flipped it on. The first one was that same logo, the seal I'd just admired on the email. This one didn't move though. It just stayed there. I pressed on it, and inside was a table of contents. I went straight to page 45. That was where the colonizers of Gliese 485 had taken selfies on the tropical planet and sent back panoramic photos. Big, lush jungles with exotic birds you could only dream of. It looked hot and beautiful. Carrie Summerhill, the lead scientist for the expedition, smiled on one of the pictures. Her hair was all mussed up and the corners of her eyes crinkled with joy. I had met her when I was just young, when she'd come to my school. She was a really nice lady. Maybe that's when I decided I wanted to be an astronaut too. I sighed and put my tablet back under the mattress. I put my hands behind my head and looked up at the plastic stars on the ceiling. They glowed in the dark. It was cool. Mom and Dad had helped me put them in the patterns of all the different constellations. I looked up at Lyra, and I was on the ship with thousands of other extras for the long, dark trip through the stars to find new homes. Extras is a funny word. That's what my brother Donnie calls them. Anybody born after the second child in a family is considered a supplemental. They're automatically entered into the planetary lottery system. And if you're picked, then you have to go. There's only one way to avoid it, and I hoped that no one would come out and take my place. Believe me, a lot of people do. And unless you're an extra or a scientist, then you can't. It's that easy. Mom explained to me that there's a balance, like a scale, and the entire Earth hangs in it. If there's too many people, then everybody dies. That's what she said. That's why they pick hundreds of thousands of people every year to leave for other parts of the Milky Way, so that there won't be too many on Earth. Anyone born after the second baby, boom, you're on the list. My teachers told me my parents were brave for having me. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure glad they did. There aren't many people in the 26th century with an extra chromosome. I guess that makes me special. As far as I know, no one with an extra chromosome has gone into space either, so that makes me even more special. So I had to go. The next day, Donnie came over. He lived downtown in a condo. He didn't usually come over unless it was for supper. He was here early, like breakfast time early. It was weird. "Hey, Mark, I have some good news for you," he said. I looked at him, not knowing what to expect. He eyed me nervously. He sat down at the kitchen table where I was having breakfast. Mom and Dad were standing behind him. Dad had his hand on Donnie's shoulder, and Mom had her arm around Dad's waist. I felt awkward. With a mouthful of cereal, I wasn't sure what to do with. "You don't have to go on that colonizing trip. I'm taking your place," Donnie said. I spat out my cereal. "What?" I said. "Yeah, Mom and Dad told me about it, and I agreed to go for you. You know, it's super dangerous out there. We're just afraid you'd get," he said, but I cut him off. "It's my decision. You can't do this." I felt the tears welling in my eyes, but I ran out the door before they could see any of them hit the ground. I was mad. I ran down the block, the solar sidewalk giving a faint ting sound every time I hit a charging pressure switch. I ran all the way to my favorite park and found the old swing set. I'd lived here all my life and had been surrounded by love all my life. That wasn't the problem. I wanted to be a grown-up now, and this was my chance. It felt horrible to have my family try to take that away from me. I called Kat, my older sister. I knew today was her day off anyway, and she showed up an hour later with her 4-year-old son Joey. While Joey played on the structures, Kat and I swung lazily. "What happened?" she said, eyeing my sour mood. This is why I loved her. She went straight to the point. I told her everything that had happened since yesterday. "That's tough." "When are you leaving?" she said. "I can't. Donnie's going to go for me. He gave his name instead of mine." She turned her face up to the sky, her mouth a thin line. I knew this was her thinking pose. The air smelled of fresh-cut grass, and a little wind blew through my sister's hair. Joey climbed to the top of the monkey bars and waved with a "Look, Mom, I did it" gesture. Kat waved back, smiling. You're first in line, though. That's the rule. So do it, she said, with her hand on my back. I'll take care of Mom and Dad. You do what you have to do to be happy. So yeah, I snuck out. I'm not proud of that. Kat got some stuff for me, and I gave her a letter to give to our parents. I took an earlier shuttle, and Donnie's name got deleted from the rolls. Here's what I told them in my goodbye letter. Dear Mom, Dad, Donnie, and Kat, I'm a man now. I want to live my life the way I want to. You're wonderful people, and you've always been there for me all my life. But now it's time for me to make it on my own. I've always wanted to do this, and no one can stop me. I know you're scared for me. Don't be. You raised me to be independent, and this is my biggest test. I want you to know how much it means to me that you are always there for me when I needed you. You're the best parents a guy can have. Donnie, I'm sorry you don't get to go, but it was me who was picked, not you. I know you wanted to go, and Mom and Dad convinced you to, but it wasn't right, and you know it. I hope you forgive me. Kat, you've always given me good advice, and I love you forever. I will send you all pictures when I get to Kepler 442b. Your loving son and brother, Mark Spencer. As I write this, we're several light years from the Earth, and I'm making new friends. So, that was my other story from 30 at 30, the new OIW anthology that you'll be able to pick up very soon. And if you enjoyed that, I have a wonderful novel titled Red Nexus. It is a full-length sci-fi novel, and you can pick it up from Amazon. So, thank you very much. Have a great day.